Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode number 202. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for Rated G, you can find us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rattino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
I had an impromptu visit this weekend, Dan. My brother was in the city, and he came by to visit. You finally got to meet him, my older brother, Mark. So, yeah, he was in town for a concert. I said, hey, look, you're going to be in town for the concert, but whatever. Don't drive back to mom and dad's. Come over, hang for the weekend. And it's his final weekend here. He took an extended stay to be up here for a little bit. And now he's going back to Florida come Monday.
You guys playing the games?
A little bit.
All you do, we joked about it for a minute. He has the Xbox, which
he does.
I think you got for him, right?
I got him the 360 and I got him the Xbox One because,
And he said it was like the Madden machine, right?
Yeah.
Or the FIFA machine, because that's all you guys play is FIFA.
We do, yeah. And not to say that he's not into other games, but he likes what he likes.
He's not into other games.
Not necessarily. There's a lot of people like that. When I was telling you last week when I went to the Abercrombie store, not the Abercrombie store, the American Eagle store, and I was talking to one of the sales guys in the back, and he was a gamer, and he was all excited for the PS5. And
he's a Call of Duty machine.
He's a Call of Duty guy. He's got a Call of Duty machine, right? And I was like, because he's like, oh, what do you play? And I started naming some games, and he's like, I'm like, well, I also play Apex a little bit. He's like, oh, yeah, I know Apex. So I was like, oh, okay. So it's not an uncommon occurrence.
I know. I have a colleague. It's the Destiny machine to him.
There you go.
That's all he cares about is Destiny.
Right. Everyone's got their kind of one thing, and it's not to say that they're not gamers. They just like what they like.
Listen, people who play Candy Crush are gamers.
That's exactly right.
You know why?
That's exactly.
You know why they're gamers?
Why's that?
Because they're playing the game.
Yeah. Exactly.
They would never admit it though. They said. I think there was like a study that said that. I forgot how people who play mobile games don't identify as gamers.
Right.
Self-identify, I should say, as gamers.
I will say regarding that the mobile games in the vein of like the Candy Crushes and all that, they are structured differently than your traditional style video game, be it a AAA or an indie game, right?
It's a different style of game, but at its core, it's still a
Well, yeah, I mean, the mechanics are there. You are playing a video game. It's got visuals. There's different levels, abilities, whatever. They're just typically structured in a way to milk you for money.
Okay, so
that's the only difference between
they went,
typical traditional games.
But all right.
They're heavy on the...
They're heavy on the gotcha mechanics and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so we went from coin guzzlers to gotcha mechanics. It's still video games.
Agreed. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying there's certain things in place.
We were just watching this with like arcade games. I mean, they were just quarter guzzlers, right?
That's right. Back in the day, yeah, because they had to get your money somehow, right? So they're going to make these games really tough. Going to be very cheap kills in the game, right? You're going to have to spend money to get good at the game. So yeah. I mean, same kind of deal, for sure.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right.
So how you been?
Sounds like you had a good weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I was cool. Low-key weekend. Didn't do anything crazy. Mm-hmm. I checked out the Morbius trailer.
Right. In the extended MCU, right?
Definitely extended. He's like, the second cousin on your mom's side. The third cousin removed from your uncle on your mom's side.
Right. So for people who don't know, Morbius is made by Sony. It will star Jared Leto as Morbius.
I think the MCU. It's in the MCU because it's in the Spider-Man universe,
and that's the tie-in to it, right? Because we know.
So Marvel has some dealings with this.
Right. And we got former Joker Jared Leto. Now,
traitor.
Coming across party lines, right?
He's a traitor.
He's stepping over to the Marvel side, which good for him, which is great. And you were telling me that Feige had a hand in this, right?
I think Marvel in general had a hand. Definitely had it because when it starts, it says for the people who brought you Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Right. Very, very.
And the people who brought you Venom.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I mean, if you dissect the trailer, well, first of all, let's go back. Morbius is like Doctor Strange, right? He's mostly socially associated with Spider-Man because he's like a Spider-Man villain and team-up partner sometimes.
Okay, so he's kind of back and forth.
Made famous on the TV show, on the animated TV show
so
back when we were kids.
Kind of like Venom in that way? Like Venom kind of switched.
Yeah, sort of. But Venom is like just hardcore, like he's a villain that he teams up with, right? Who could be an anti-hero sometimes.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess
because I know it was like them versus Carnage for a little bit. That was a story arc.
Yeah,
back in the day. Yeah.
And Morbius sort of, it was weird on the animated show. They had him where he didn't suck blood, he sucked plasma, and he sucked it through his hands. He had these holes on his hands.
Weird,
right? But they had Blade on the Spider-Man animated TV show,
a vampire,
and he had fangs, and they were going after vampires who wanted to suck blood. Yeah. So I don't know why they changed it to sucking plasma into the hand. Maybe just to be different.
Yeah,
right.
Maybe
it couldn't have just been because it was PG,
right?
Because they had Blade,
right. It's so weird.
But he's a vampire. It looks Morbius is a vampire again, like Doctor Strange. He's like a doctor that's like crippled and is looking to heal himself. Instead of finding magic, he finds vampires. So he turns into a vampire himself. It looks, I mean, it's not, I don't think it's rated R.
Right.
But it kind of reminds me of, just like we were talking about Dracula on Netflix. That was like super gory. Right. It reminds me of Dracula without the gore.
Okay.
Well, from the trailer, I don't know if it's going to be gory. I doubt it will be.
Right. I still have yet to see Dracula, by the way. Too many things in the docket. There's a lot of stuff out there.
So, yeah, no, it looked pretty cool. It's definitely, how do we know it's in the universe? Because, we see like a picture of Spider-Man.
Spoiler alert for people who haven't seen the last Spider-Man movie.
True.
Go ahead.
Well, the ending credits of the last Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, that's right. The post-credits.
Maybe you saw Spider-Man didn't stick around. Maybe you forgot this is part of MCU. You got to stick around after the credits.
And that's on you. That's on you if you didn't see those end credits.
All right, so spoiler one. Well, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Okay. So, end of Spider-Man, they reveal who he is and that he killed Mysterio. Right? So that was sort of like Mysterio's last act.
Right. Who was supposed to be a good guy, turns out to be a villain.
But nobody knew the mass audience didn't know he was
right.
a villain.
And then when he gets back to New York, right? Yeah, that's New York in the Marvel universe. So there's all these signs all over the place, and they got the news network like pegging Spider-Man as a killer.
Yes.
So it's just like, oof.
So the Morbius villain, you see a picture. You see like a picture of Spider-Man. It has murderer next to it. All right. So and then the Vulture. Bruce Willis. Not Bruce Willis. I don't know why I'm thinking of Die Hard. Oh. We were talking about Die Hard before we started recording.
Oh, you mean
Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton from the first movie,
From the first, he played the Vulture.
Yeah.
Which I still haven't seen Homecoming.
My God. It's so good.
I gotta see it.
It's so good.
I know.
His reveal and turn as the villain in that movie is fantastic. Yeah.
Well, he's there at the end. Don't know in what capacity.
Right.
So this definitely looks like it's setting up for Sinister Six. Because they did say they want to do a Sinister Six movie.
Sure. Sinister Six would be
not Jared Leto. I mean, not Morbius. He would be probably Sinister Six. But if he was in the movie, this would be his second movie of like playing villains for.
Right. So we'd have to get Vulture. We'd have to get Electro. We'd have to get Doc Ock. Rhino, but listen, there's a different Scorpion. Different incarnations of the Sinister Six. I mean, Mysterio would need to be alive. Oh, that's right. Maybe he's not dead. Right. Mysterio's a big one too. Maybe he's not really dead, right? Yeah. And that's how you can clear Spider-Man's name because he's not really dead. And then comes out as a villain, teams up with the Sinister Six, tries to take over New York or wherever. Yeah. I would see that. So this is like. Close. I mean, I'm sure Marvel is like has a hand. Or they have a hand in it, but I know it's like killing them inside. Their most famous character, they have no real control over. Well, right? They bought back everybody. They bought the Hulk back. The Hulk is back now, so they can make a standalone Hulk movie. Yeah, which they should. And they bought Fox. Which is weird because they bought Fox, and for the longest time, I didn't think about this. All these movies we saw as kids, you see 20th Century Fox. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And now that Disney owns it, they've changed it, and it's
20th Century Studios.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes sense from a branding standpoint. You want everything to be, you want everything to be under the same umbrella, right? Have the same branding and all that. So it makes sense. I wonder if they're going to go back and fix all the 20th Century Fox logos whenever they print the Blu-rays or put out the digital copies.
I'll tell you this, probably, because WWE, different because they had a lawsuit. They were WWF.
That's right. Yeah, and the Wildlife Foundation won.
And every time they, the reason why they were side note, the reason why they won because WWF is older than the World Wildlife Federation.
Oh, it is.
But they were going under the name as WWF. That extra W was Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
And not WWE, even though the logo was just a W with an F at the end. Mm-hmm. All right, and it was a WWF. Interesting, Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Yeah, and then Vince took over.
Right, and then he changed it.
He took the wide out, and it's World Wrestling Federation.
But then the Worldwide, World. Whatever the Wildlife Foundation had already been established at that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think they were around longer, but they were under our connection of an extra brand. W.
Right.
So I think that was the sort of loophole, the key that got them to win the lawsuit.
I just remember in my sixth grade science class, my teacher, Miss Westlake. She had a sticker that was WWF with a little koala next to it.
Yes.
And I'm like,
yes.
Why does she have a wrestling? Because I didn't know what the Wildlife Foundation was. And then I'm like, oh.
Listen, I was in an Earth nerd back in the day.
Earth nerd?
I was an Earth nerd. I had my mom take me to Earth Day events before Earth Day was a thing. I had zoo books, damn it.
Yeah? Oh, zoo books were great.
And I made my own zoo books. I would go to the library and make my own zoo books.
Oh, shit.
So I knew about the WWF with the koala bear.
World Wildlife Foundation,
yeah. So I always knew about those guys because I was big. I was like, oh, we got two WWFs.
Yeah, right.
I never actually thought they would clash.
Yeah, and then it came to a head in the late '90s.
So
I wonder who tried to sue who.
No, I think the got me mixing up the name. The World Wildlife Foundation went after them first because remember the Attitude Era made WWF even popular.
Yeah.
Right?
See, I figured that would have been McMahon who would have made that move.
No, they didn't care. They would, it's like we two different
entities.
Yeah, we two different genres.
It's true. They technically could exist on their own, right? Because you can have Apple computers and have
Apple Bank
Care or Apple Bank. Yeah, exactly, and they're different.
I always thought, as the fourth side note in my my whole soliloquy, I always thought Apple should buy Apple Bank, and then we would have a bank and a credit card, but now we have Apple Care.
Yeah,
like
that's
an
right.
actual.
Oh, that's funny. It's all inclusive. Take out a loan to buy your iPhone.
Take it. You know what? We'll loan you the money to buy an iPhone.
Just pay us back 1% interest.
Yeah, that's all. That's okay. Yeah. And you can take as long as you want.
Yeah, right. Because you get 1% interest.
Because you get 1% interest. So I was all for that.
That's funny.
But let's take this back to video games.
We are a video game podcast now.
We are,
as you always like to say.
We're not the wrestling podcast.
No, we're not.
We're not the MCU podcast. No. Even though sometimes we get confused as the MCU podcast. I know. We should be an MCU podcast.
Yeah, the premier MCU podcast.
There you go. I don't even know if that's taken. We should see an MCU podcast.
We could be rated M for mutants.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. A spinoff show.
Rated A for Avengers.
Rated A for Avengers. There you go.
So, just the Switch games. It's weird that they actually have to put. You never think about this. We talked about it when the Switch came out. That they actually put something in the Switch cartridges to make the cartridges taste nasty.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
For kids, because they don't want kids
astringent or whatever. Yeah,
because they don't want kids to put it in their mouths or anything.
Right, which is a smart move.
I never thought about this. Was there any news that they put the same stuff in the 3DS games?
I did not know that was a thing.
Did they? I don't know.
I don't think they did. I think it came about with the Switch.
So you can choke in a 3DS game.
I suppose so. They're about the same size, and kids don't know the difference.
Well, the Switch is
it goes in my mouth.
The Switch is a little bit smaller. The 3DS is a little bit wider.
Right. Yeah, slightly, but it's still definitely chokeable.
Chokeable. Sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah, right.
Chokeable. I mean, that's weird, right? I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But so I don't think we covered as much. We never given as much coverage. Like Tencent and Nintendo partner up to bring Switch and bootleg Switches, not the same Switches that we have.
Yep.
Like sort of a modified version of Switch with preloaded games.
Right. This is for the Chinese
market, right?
Because they do things differently in China.
They do.
They had the IQ, which was their N64. Everything was different over there for various reasons.
But but you know what's not different? They put the same thing in the Tencent Chinese Switch carts to make sure that if kids taste it, it tastes terrible.
Sure. It's something you wouldn't think China would do. No more knocks on China than there needs to be, but they're
well, I wouldn't think they were the attention to detail or worrying about if kids would put it in their mouths. Right?
Yeah, safety and security maybe not the highest concern over in China in terms of product reliability and product safety. They take a different form of security measures over there.
But you know what? Gotta watch out for the kids. No, 100%. I guess gotta watch out for the kids. Gotta make sure the kids don't choke on
100%. So why not throw the same astringent or whatever it is in the carts that they're doing for the rest of the world? Makes it a lot easier in the plant, probably, right?
Probably doesn't cost them.
No, it just runs through the same machine. They blop a little bit on there, or they mix it in with the whatever the material it's made out of is, and it's just there. It's on the.
So on, I buy a lot of games from Lukey, right? And weirdly enough, I don't see any Switch games on Lukey. Not yet, which is weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Probably not able to get them in bulk and very cheaply.
Well, probably cheaply. I wouldn't say bulk. I mean, because it is a sort of like a retro reseller site.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. So they want to get it at a good price.
They have PS4. They have PS4 games.
Sure.
And they have
well, PS4 had a good 3-4 years on the Switch,
and Xbox One,
and same with the Xbox. Yeah, they had about 3-4 years on the Switch.
So it's probably not cheap enough for them to make a profit or to resell it at a profit. And I don't see it on JJ Games, but I'm probably never going to see it on JJ Games because unfortunately JJ Games is now going out of business.
R.I.P. JJ Games. They are near closing. The blowout sale is going on right now. So if you're looking to pick up games in the cheap, head over there. There's not a lot left, as we've seen. I know you picked up, and I don't think you want to reveal this yet what you got, but you did find some good games over there at good prices, right?
I picked up a few things that I'll talk about when I actually get to it. But I kind of figured JJ was going down,
right?
Because I when I first started collecting,
right,
I found Lukey games and JJ games, and I would compare prices with eBay too. So whatever the best price, that's where I'm going to buy it from. And a lot of times, the higher the games that were marked higher, I can get it a little bit cheaper on JJ games than Lukey, right? So if it's just for comparison, if it's $100 on Lukey, I would find it for $80 on JJ Games.
Right.
So of course I'm gonna save $20.
Yeah, and
it's the same free shipping if you buy more than $25.
Yeah.
Right?
And the beauty of JJ on top of all that is you can see the condition, they list the condition, and see the photo of the game you're getting.
Yes.
Lukey Games is kind of a crapshoot.
It's completely different. Completely different. So when you see it on JJ, you can see that same game that's $80. It's probably they probably have a version that's in perfect condition for $90.
You're right.
And they have
one with a little ding or something, right?
A little ding, little rip, a little tear, and that's $80.
Yeah.
Where that same game doesn't matter what it is, dinged or not dinged. If it's $100 on Lukey, it's $100 on Lukey. It's $100. Right. Depending on which one they ship to you. So that's the one thing I liked about JJ. You can see the games. So
I wonder if Lukey's going to be starts doing that, but
I doubt it. I mean, you know what?
You never know.
I'm not worried about if they're going to start doing that. I'm worried about if Luki is going to stay in business. Because I'm not going to lie. I want to say at least more than half of my collection comes from Luki.
Sure.
Because if I see it, I buy it, right? Like I see it and buy it. And I trust Luki because there's a return policy because it's a store. So I get a level of quality, right? Like I know it works. And if it doesn't work, I'm going to get it back.
Right.
Right? And I get my points, my Luki points. So I can get free games. But, you know, I want to say rest in peace, JJ. It's not gone yet, but it will
just
be
about.
gone. Just about gone.
Eventual. I mean, I already said it, but, you know, it's an eventual RIP.
So it's sort of picked clean.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But I knew, again, like I said, I knew something was wrong because over the years, like I said, when I first started, I would compare prices. Year after year, JJ would stop replenishing certain systems and games and stuff.
Right.
So I was like, you know, what's going on here? Like, I don't see, you know, the big variety of games when I first started collecting. I don't see it here anymore. So I knew something was up. They just were taking things off their list. Like, hey, we're no longer selling, you know, Vita games or Sega CD games.
I mean, the Vita games wouldn't signal a red flag for me, right?
Red flag, baby. Vita Island. Vita Island. I'm telling you.
Listen, limited run games have been holding them up for the last 3 years, all right? And that's a fact. They're the only ones in town who are even producing Vita versions of games.
And it was doing great.
Sure.
Luki still has a big selection of Vita games, so get out of here.
Do you know how many Vita games I own, Dan?
I own 100.
Yeah. Do you know how many Vita games I own?
You know how many systems I own? I own 2.
Okay. You know how many?
I own 3.
Okay. Again. Do you know how many Vita games that I own?
Not enough.
So I have over
2.
I'm close to like 1,500 games. Actually, double that. I have 4 Vita games out of my 1,500 video games. Well, that's like less than 1%.
Well, you know what? You know what? You need to get your Vita. Collection.
I need to get a Vita and get more Vita games. You're not wrong, but I'm just saying it's not a.
I literally have 100 Vita games.
Listen, they don't even have them at GameStop anymore.
Yes, they do. No, they do. No, they do. You gotta find them. But they do.
They have them like they have PC games. They have a little hook that has little like PlayStation Store cards that say buy your Vita game.
GameStop has PC games? What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. See, there you go.
No, they have Vita games. They may have the same Vita games.
No, they have a shelf at best.
They do,
and it is a very poor.
So if you go,
please give us money.
If you go in the back of any GameStop, you'll have like that one little small shelf where they have
a half shelf too.
They have the GameStop cases, which is terrible. I'm not gonna buy that.
Yeah, exactly.
And they either have some RPG that I'm not gonna buy. That's like full price, $50.
Yeah.
Or in the front of the store, they have the case where you can buy the loose carts.
Right.
Of Vita games for like $30, $20, and it's all the same stuff.
I know.
So if
3DS is also gone too.
No 3DS. I was.
They don't have the physical cases. They just have.
They have like a half shelf, the same thing.
So a lot of them don't.
I've been at
the one in Atlantic Center doesn't have loose games anymore.
Well, that's like a small GameStop.
That's the same. This is the same size as most of the GameStops.
No, that GameStop is like super small.
I mean,
to be fair to that GameStop, I believe that they don't have it, but that's a super small GameStop.
But I mean, it just goes to show that like 3DS is on the way out. 3DS, I mean, it's like 2 generations ago.
Vita is like maybe
Vita's on the same boat.
5% represented at
Vita
GameStop
was like 2012,
and 3DS is out the door because of the Switch. So, yeah,
10 years old.
And you know. This is they've combined the Wii and the Wii U shelves to be one.
I know. Yeah. But how is the Wii still sticking around? How do they still have a Wii shelf? And how do those games still cost $60? Those games are not cheap. And like unless you want Greg Hastings like paintball or whatever.
No, I want ESPN's Game Time.
Yeah, sure, right? Yeah. Yeah, I want to get that. I want to get that Madden All Play all 09. Can I get that on the Wii?
I have a lot of like Wii U games that are
terrible.
I have a lot of Wii U games that are now like kind of expensive. Hello Kitty, the Hello Kitty Racer is like super expensive for a Wii U game. I mean, you can still buy it. It's like $80.
Yeah.
But the game where they play golf on a Wii pad,
I
forgot the name of the actual game. That game is still $50.
Yeah, who's
That game
buying
didn't-
it? Obviously nobody.
No
'cause you
one.
see
That's
it.
why it's $50.
Yeah, because you see it and you know what the price is, which means nobody's picking it up and buying it.
I know, and that's the game I want. And that was the game that they kept showing when the Wii U came out.
Right. You could put the thing down and do this, and it was.
You use the remote, right?
Right,
A Wii remote,
exactly.
and you can play golf.
Yeah.
On your Wii pad.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
your Wii U pad, sorry, but yeah. Rest in peace, JJ Games. This just another knock that physical is going down.
Dan, it's happening.
It's
All right?
happening.
Get on board. Get on that train.
I am not on that train.
Get on that train.
I'm not on that train. I'm at the station. I'm just watching the
Yeah?
train.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get on that train.
All right.
But Dave, get any good pickups?
I did, Dan. I did. So remember when you said that you picked up a PS3, right?
I did.
You were very happy about that.
It was in bad shape.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get onto the internet through Wi-Fi for some reason.
Right.
But I could still play PS1 and PS2 games on it. Mm-hmm. So I give it a nice home.
So I have a Slim, PS3 Slim that I had for a while. And it worked, turned on and everything, and it booted up. Everything works fine. The controller didn't work, so I had to get another PS3 controller, which I never got around to doing because reasons. But last week, just on a whim, I went in a store as it was closing, and in a store that typically is like a clothing store and like a knick-knack store, they sometimes have video games. You got to really dig in there. And somebody traded in a PS3 Super Slim, and I was like, "Is that?" And he was like, "Yeah, we want like $35 for it." I said, "Deal." All right. It didn't come with the power cord. It did come with a controller. Mm-hmm. I had to convince the shopkeep that these things go together. Because he was looking at me like sideways. I'm like, no. This is what comes with it. This should be $35 for the two. And he's like, oh, okay. And then on top of that, I picked up Excite Truck and Excite Bike Trick Racing and GoldenEye for the Nintendo Wii. So I got all that at a very good price.
Okay.
They were very happy to sell it to me. I'm sure it was there no less than a week. Because I go in there on the regular just to kind of see what's up. And I remember not seeing it the last time I was in there. They also had 2 golden Wii controllers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so that was kind of nice. So that's what I got this week. It's small, but, happy with the pickups.
Okay.
How about you?
Well, listen, it doesn't matter if it's small. Mm-hmm. That's how you collect.
That's right.
Over time.
That's right.
You keep accumulating.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I have the PS3 OG one now.
Nice.
I have the PS3,
The
fat PS3, and I have the second PS3 fat
Slim?
that they took. No, the second one where they took the backwards.
revision. Right.
Yeah, they took the backwards compatibility out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I have the super slim and then the slim.
Yep. So you got all 4?
I got all 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't do that many big. I don't have many big pickups this week, with the exception of PS4 Slim. I'm gonna talk about the Slims.
There you go.
I got it.
So now you have the OG.
I have the OG PS4.
You have the Slim.
I have the Slim
And the Pro.
So I have all the PlayStation 4 models.
Nice.
So somebody got that for me as like a late Christmas gift.
Mm-hmm.
So it was. I had to have it. I was gonna wait until like PS5 came out, where the PS Slim is probably gonna be even cheaper.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
And now I have it. Doesn't matter.
Nice.
I picked up Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Oh, it's brand new.
Brand new, just came out. I wasn't going to. Mm-hmm. But the guy at Best Buy told me, he's like, listen, we got like 2 copies left for the PS4. Mm-hmm. Like, it's selling out. Like, people, he was shocked that people were coming to buy this game.
Right.
I was like, you know what? I love Dragon Ball Z. Give it to me. I'll take it.
You know why it's doing so well?
Well, I mean, it's like a Dragon Ball RPG.
Well, sure. I think it's doing real well because the last Dragon Ball game that came out did fantastic. Fighter Z, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Fighters. That one did really well, and it's a Dragon Ball game, so everyone's like, oh, yeah, everyone's high on Dragon Ball.
And I played through the story mode, and I liked the story mode, right? It was totally different. We got a new villain, got a new android. I didn't finish it. It just went on a little bit too long for me, right? It was really long. But I should go back and finish it. I have the special edition, too, so I have Goku powering up the Super Saiyan.
Oh, nice.
So, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, I'll talk about that in a minute. I got I do have a PlayStation credit card. That's.
Of course you do, Dan.
So I get
Of course you do. The man who claims to not be a fanboy
I'm not a
has
fanboy.
a PlayStation credit card.
So I get points, and they have
Okay, so I get points on my credit card too. I can use them for anything, not just Sony stuff.
And they have they have Sony rewards. They have like a Sony.
Yeah, you can only
site.
buy Sony products. It's great.
Well, that's how I renew my PlayStation Plus for free every year. I don't have to pay for it because I get my points.
I just re-upped on mine because they sent me an email saying your subscription's going to run out. We're going to auto renew, and then I'm like, okay.
I'm gonna have to pay for the Xbox Live.
That's
soon.
right.
I think it ends next week.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But I used my points, and I got Minecraft for free. I got something else for free, which didn't come in yet. I'll talk about that when I get that. Mm-hmm. I got Shantae in the Pirate's Curse for the 3DS.
Nice.
And I got Amiibo, a bunch of Amiibo, Rickner and Dark Samus Amiibo from the Nintendo store.
Nice. So you've been on a bit of an Amiibo tear right now, right? Is that fair to say?
If we go back to our early episodes, and please, you don't have to go back to our early episodes. You can just listen to our modern episodes.
People can see how far we've come as professional podcasters.
You don't have to go back.
We are names in the game now.
You don't have to go back to the retro pod. You don't have to go back to the retro episodes. You can stay in the modern episodes.
It's fine, man. You gotta own it. Right? We've come so far.
I think in like the first 50 episodes, I said, you know what, the Amiibos can suck it. I wasn't
exactly.
Big, I
you were
big
like, I'm not really going to collect that much, and I was going hard in the paint.
You were. I had like 5 Amiibos.
Yeah, but I had like 30 at that time. I had like quadruple, 6 times the amount that you had at that point, and I was like, I want all of the Smash Amiibos.
But then something remarkable happened.
You're like, I can't let Dave win. That's what happened.
I started working next to the Nintendo store.
Oh yeah, that too. So
whenever the Amiibo come out, I don't have to chase it. The Nintendo store has it.
Yeah, I'll get it. Yeah.
So I have I have like 120 Amiibo or something like that.
Nice. You have more than me, which is crazy.
So I got a lot of Amiibo. So I've been a little Amiibo crazy. I'm like 20 shy of having like all the Amiibo.
Full North American set.
Yep. And then
that is respectable.
And like the 3 Monster Hunter Amiibo that only got released in Japan. Mm-hmm. So I may go for a complete set at some point. I'm missing 20. That's easy to get. I mean, you pay the money.
Yeah.
It ain't cheap. I'm not going to just find them randomly like I did.
They're not going to be $13 at this point.
No.
You're down to the ones that are either from the original run or around the original run, the old Smash ones probably.
Oh my God, they made Skylander Amiibo.
I know. You just realized that too.
They made Skylander Amiibo. This is ridiculous.
Skylanders had their own thing and their own pod and this and that, but you're saying there's specific Amiibo that are Skylander branded.
Yes, they had like Bowser, Donkey Kong, and somebody else. This is ridiculous. They have Skylander Amiibos.
There you go. That's only a couple more. You'll be fine.
There's only a couple more.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Dave, as we always try to start the show but epically fail, what have you been playing?
Oh, Dan, I'm going to wait no episode for this. I have been back into your favorite Xbox gaming franchise. Gears of War.
Oh!
Uh-huh.
I had a brain freeze there for a second.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? How do you not know Gears of War? Gears of War is great.
Well, which one you been playing?
5.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm playing the latest. Which is funny, because the only other story that I played was most of Gears 1. So
you skipped 2, 3, and 4.
It doesn't really matter. I know there's Locust, there's Cog, and
the Locusts have been gone for the longest.
Well, whatever. I mean, they all look fairly the same. They all look fairly the same. There's an alien horde. You got to beat up the alien horde. Everyone's hoorah, big muscles, right? Big guns.
But you play as Kate, though.
It's great.
In Gears 5.
You can also play as Del if you want to switch it up. But yeah, Kate technically is the main protagonist.
Yeah.
For most of the game.
I wouldn't say like 80%. The first 20% you play is Marcus's son.
Right. Yeah. JD.
Yeah, JD.
Yeah, and then you switch over to Kate. Story is definitely good.
Let me know when you get to the end. You got to make a decision. Then we'll talk.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna have to go with the I have to go with the soft tacos. I think that's going to be my decision. Don't worry. As opposed to the hard tacos. I know you're saying it's a tough decision, but you got to go with the soft tacos. I know what the decision is.
It's tough, man. You don't want that crunch.
That's right.
Sometimes people want that crunch.
No. A nice soft taco. You wrap it up like a little tiny burrito. Oh, it's the best way to go. Kate's going soft tacos. I'm telling you.
All right.
So that's it, really. I've only been playing Gears 5. I was a little preoccupied this weekend with my brother. We were kind of hanging and kind of, doing all the city things and whatnot. So, yeah. How about you?
I played a little bit of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I didn't get a chance to dive deep into it.
So you like it so far?
You got to fish so you can eat.
It's very much an RPG in that case.
You got to fish, and you're going to have to cook the fish.
Yeah, there you go. More RPG. Yeah.
So I only had like one battle, which was like a tutorial. I literally played like 20 minutes.
How does the battle works out? Like it's a head-to-head thing or what?
Well, I don't know. I've only had one battle, which was a tutorial.
Well, how did that battle go down though? Were you like one-on-one or?
Yeah, it was one-on-one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's fighting Piccolo in the sky.
Okay, so like it turns into like a 3D fighter.
Yes, okay. It's like a normal Dragon Ball Z fighter.
Okay,
like
cool.
Be in the sky.
Cool.
Yeah. So I've been playing. I played 20 minutes of that on the PS4 Slim. Had to test it out.
Of course.
So all the games I've been playing have been on PS4 Slim because I'm just testing it out, make sure. That thing is so small. That thing is so small. I thought it was a little bit bigger. Like I thought it was like slimmer. Like they said, slimmer sort of had like rounded edges compared to the original, which had sharper edges.
Yeah.
But that thing really is tiny. I was like, oh my god, this little thing.
Yeah, right.
And I got a stand for it too. I went and bought the stand, which is hard to find to get the stand for the PS4 Slim and PS4 Pro.
That tiny bit of plastic that just wedges in between the two things with the tiny little edges on there. Interesting, yeah.
You would think it would be a little bit easier to find since it's in the picture of the box.
Well, I mean, at the time, they're like, this is going to be the hottest thing. Everyone's going to be attaching this to their system. It's going to be 120% attach rate. No, nobody wanted it. Everyone just laid it down flat. Because that's what you do.
It is hard to find.
Right.
So,
to be honest, though, like especially now, because I have the entertainment console and I've typically had entertainment consoles, I like putting my systems flat. And just put them inside
option. I like the option.
Option
I don't have a lot of room, so I put them vertically. It works better for me.
Which depending on your setup can save you a ton of space.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that works better for me. So I've just been playing everything on there. I've been playing Transistor. Which,
very nice.
When it first came out,
Supergiant Games, yeah.
It first came out, obviously it was only digital, and I played, I want to say, like 5 hours of it. I got so far into it, and I quit for whatever reason. I forgot what other game came out, and I just never went back to it. So I restarted it, and I have the physical edition.
Nice. I think Limited Run put that out, right?
I think so too.
Yeah.
You could be right about that.
Because they did. They also did Bastion, which is a fantastic game.
Yeah.
And Transistor was their second. Well, maybe not the second, but to me, it's their follow up to Bastion. Was like Transistor. But they're definitely a pretty solid company.
And then I've been playing a game that you put me on. You introduced me to, and I got the sort of the special edition for the PS4.
Same.
Used at a good price, and I just needed to switch it up a little bit so I can play the Slim to test it out, and I got Catherine full body. What a crazy game! I've been playing it on easy right now.
Yeah. It's tough.
I've been playing on easy because it was not something I thought I was really going to get into. I was like, I want to test. I just want to test the PS4 Slim just to make sure it works.
And you get into it.
And I got into it and I changed it to hard.
Oh my God, forget about it, yeah. It essentially, like the core, one of the core gameplay mechanics is a puzzle game where you have to get to the top of this like Pandora's Tower type thing, and you have to navigate around this wall that has blocks that come in and out, right? And when you play on the hard mode, they make it very difficult for you to get around. And you have to act very quickly because the floor is kind of, falling underneath you, right? So as you start going up, the tower starts crumbling. It's it's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, I'm glad you're having a good time with it.
No, I'm having a good time. I may have to switch it back to easy if I get into another game. Just because like the story is so crazy.
Yeah, it's a little bananas.
Story's a little all over the place.
I'm gonna have to start it over.
But Atlas Game stories are kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, Persona 5. We if you go back to some of our early episodes,
all of the Persona games, yeah.
We talked about Persona 5 story. I was my mind was blown. I was like, this is an issue.
Yeah,
but we're not going to get into that right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
But why don't we take a break?
Well, before we get into break, Dan, we have a contest going on right now. For the month of January, we are giving away one set of PAX East badges for Saturday and Sunday. Just a reminder that PAX East is starting on the 26th, and it goes for 4 days from Thursday to Sunday. We have Saturday and Sunday badges available.
And Saturday is sold out right now.
I know. Saturday sold out. That's right. And Sunday is probably going to sell out. I think it's in very low supply. So the secret code this week is Jerry and Mike, founders of the Penny Arcade comic and the PAX Prime, PAX East, PAX South, and PAX Australia. And also PAX Unplugged. 5 different PAX shows. Crazy. So send us that code via DM. Private message us on social media, or email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com for entry. Note that you can enter once per episode, and we'll be dropping codes all January long. And also, for an additional entry, head on over to our Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at ratedgforgamers, and like our contest post, retweet or share, depending on the platform, and make sure you are following us. Good luck to everyone who enters.
All right, so why don't we take a break now, and when we come back, we'll talk about the top gaming news of last week.
Hey, this is Matt Adler, freelance journalist for IGN, and you're listening to Rated G for Gamers podcast.
And we're back. All right, let's get into the top gaming news of last week. We have to start with our lead story, and that is Sony. Sony has decided that they are skipping E3 again.
So 2 PlayStation experiences, they're just like, nope, we're not doing it this year. Didn't do it the year before. Now 2 E3s, they didn't do it last year, and we're not doing it this year.
I honestly think it's a money thing. It's money. To go to E3 for these companies is not cheap.
Oh no, not by any means. Especially if you're gonna have your own presentation, right?
Yeah,
it's a lot of money. Plus, you got to get floor space,
millions of dollars to set all this up, and set all this up.
Sure. It's if not 6 figures, very close to 6 figures to kind of do everything and to get everybody out there. So. Sony's taking the strategy.
7 figures. It's definitely 7. It's in the millions.
7 figures. Yeah,
it's
sorry.
definitely in the millions.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
So Sony's kind of saying, hey, maybe we don't need E3. We can do this on our own terms, and they have so far. They said we're gonna drop the logo at CES, and they did, and the internet went wild.
It is the highest liked
at
picture.
This point. We need to put out a picture and go, let's get this above the PS5 logo. And see what happens, because I'm sure we could get a bunch of people on board.
I don't know. We can get 6 million people, because that's probably what it's going to take.
I think we can do it, Dan. I think we can do it.
Well, it'll have to be in some funny poses.
Okay, sure, we can do it. We can do that.
But Sony, I think again, this is a monetary thing. They don't want to spend the money for it on it. And do they really need E3? I mean, we've talked about E3 how it's turning irrelevant. Right, because there's so many other trade shows to talk to people. E3 is maybe the biggest, but not the only.
No, there's a lot that are fan based. There's a lot that are B2B based or
they're they said there are 29 other shows that they will be at trade shows.
Sure,
right, to talk to stores and investors and stuff like that, but not.
And they may be like, hey, we're going to drop this bit of knowledge at this trade show. We're going to drop this bit of knowledge at this trade show. And then we're going to have this big event that's been rumored, possibly in February, to be well, here is the system and here's some more information about it.
Well, last generation in February, in 2013, they had a press conference.
Last February?
Well, February 2013.
February of 2013.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Six Figures. We're talking about the millions.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. People knew it. People knew what I was talking about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, close to six figures. No, all right. So February 2013, they had an event, and they just showed the controller, and they talked about the specs. We didn't know the price, we didn't know the box, and we definitely didn't know the games.
Right.
So there's rumored to be an event coming in February where we thought maybe if they did have something in February, it'd be something similar where we would get more specs in the controller, because the controller, hopefully it has some more bells and whistles. Probably has a back. Again, they just they're going to release next week that whole back thing to the PS4 controller. We think will come standard in the PS5
Turn it into like a pro model, right?
Yeah.
That's what the Xbox Elite controller does with the little paddles on the back. You can program them and do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
It's kind of nice.
If you haven't tried it out before, definitely try it out. You will be sold.
But I don't know if now that they're not going to be at E3, it's like, okay, well, maybe we're going to get a big event in February and then around E3. Because I think they'll still be around E3. I mean, they had a state of play like a week before E3 last year.
Yeah. Well, everybody is, even if they're not at E3 proper, still does something. Limited Run, Bethesda, EA, they all like glom onto that weekend.
Well, look. Let's just start at the beginning. So I don't know who went first. It was either EA or Nintendo, but let's just go with EA. So EA, let's just say EA was first. They said, you know what? We're not going to pay the millions of dollars to go to E3. We're going to have our own event, down the block, the day before E3. So we're not going to pay
Kicks off on Saturday.
Kicks us on Saturday. We're not going to pay the ESA, right? So they're gone. Then Nintendo says, you know what? The debacle with the Wii U, we're not going to have any more press conferences.
Yep,
we're going to put out
their own thing.
We're going to put out directs.
And big direct, but a direct.
And we're going to have maybe like a booth where you could play certain games. And it'll be a theme, right? Every year has been like a theme for one game. So it's nothing big, nothing crazy. And then Microsoft, they left. Sort of, right? They're across the street at the Microsoft Theater, where if you want to play games,
their own theater.
Yeah.
That's how big they are, which is it just exemplifies the fact that they don't need E3.
And they have a little booth on the E3 show
a little
floor.
bit of presence, so you can play the games and all that. You know.
But if you really want to play like the new games or games that are just demos, you gotta go across the street,
right? To the
Microsoft Theater
experience, yeah, or whatever they're called,
Microsoft Theater,
But and I think they call the event the Xbox Experience. Is that right? Or
probably.
Yeah, something like that.
Now Sony's just left altogether. We don't know if they're gonna have
they're like, we don't need this.
We don't know if they're gonna have a small booth at some point, because I think if I was Sony, I can understand monetarily, like you're gonna like, why am I paying like $10 million to be here when I can get I can control the message myself, and you can have maybe like a state of play at some point during E3 or before E3, before E3.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want. You're right about saving all that money, but you also don't want a Sony or a Microsoft or a Nintendo to dominate the kind of gaming news cycle. Right?
Well, they did last year anyway.
Kind of. Well, Sony didn't have anything to show.
Yeah.
That was the problem. They're like, we don't have anything. This year is a more strategic move to say, we have something, but we want to do it in our own way.
So if you were Sony, if I was Sony, like, I think Microsoft is still going on Sunday, right? I would have a state of play Monday, right? And then have the games. Oh, you know what?
Well, you gotta have show presence.
You know what? Let's rewind. I would, if they do have an event in February, which is kind of soon, right? Like if they were,
couple weeks,
we need to know about it. Like if it's going to happen or not, right?
I mean, we didn't know the Switch was coming out until 3 months before it came out. So, and I think a lot of developers didn't know it was coming out.
Yeah. So I would at the Sony event, if they have one in February, I would show the box, because Microsoft already showed the box.
Yeah, they did.
Right. I would focus. I would end it with showing the box, but I would focus the event on the controller and the specs. That's why it's just a press conference, no popping circumstances.
Yeah.
Right. Then I would end it with showing the box. Everyone's gonna be talking about you, right? Talking about the box, and then maybe on Monday or at some point during E3, you have a state of play where you get the games. That's more important, and the price.
Yep.
and then some of the games are playable on the show floor because you have a small booth.
You definitely need the show floor presence because people are going to want to play those games, and they're going to want to get the hype out there to be like, oh my God, if you played Horizon Zero Dawn 2, a launch title for the PlayStation 5, here's hoping.
Yes, I actually think that's going to happen.
Maybe
it's going to happen.
You know, it very well could.
So, but everybody's leaving E3. Mm-hmm. The ESA. You know, they said they have plans this, you know, for E3 and then make it more in a fan event. If you ask me how could I save? I mean, listen, I've already single-handedly saved GameStop on this show. I've told you how I would save GameStop. They're not listening to me.
Yet they still keep closing stores.
They're not listening.
So I don't know.
They're not listening.
I don't know. I don't know how you saved anything, Dan.
You know why? It's because they're not listening. They're not listening to me.
All right, I see.
So ESA, if you want to save E3, listen to me.
Uh-huh.
If you're a part of the ESA, which all these companies are, because they have to be, because they want that logo.
The ESRB logo on their games, which you need to have in North America for your games.
Most states, most countries.
Most countries have a board, but the ESRB is specifically for the
United States. Yeah. So you pay into it, so you're a part of it, right? I would say, hey, if you're a part of the ESA, let's just say, for argument's sake, it's $10 million to put on a show at E3. Mm-hmm. If you're part of the ESA, $2 million. Right?
You give them a cut.
Give them a cut, like $2 million.
Well, everyone has to be a part of it, though, right?
I don't know how this works, but they are a part of it. I know that for a fact that they all have a hand in it.
Sure,
right.
Sure.
So, all right, because you have a hand in it, because you're a part of it, $2 million.
Give a discount.
$2 million, right? It's not $10 million, because we want you there. And then I would say E3 is 3 days for the press. So the first 3 days, press. So everything is press-related, investors, the stores, they come there to see what's coming out, so we can get ready, we can gear up, right? So, and then after that, we have another 3 days. It turns into PAX afterwards. So all the press, you could stay or you can leave, right? And then it turns into PAX. So it's a fan event that you're charging for, and it's more to get the hype out there for the fans. So that's what I would do to save E3.
Sure.
Because I think I love having an E3 because it's sort of what we all look forward to collectively as an industry.
It's a fun big event.
It's our Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Who won E3?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I would counter that PAX or the Penny Arcade Expo kind of does that pretty nicely. It allows developers to present. It allows industry to go and look and see all that stuff. And it allows fans to go and do the same stuff, all in the same venue, right? Somehow they make it happen. And we get releases, not a lot, but we got like the Borderlands 3 announcement at PAX.
Which you couldn't get into.
I know, which I couldn't get into.
And I didn't get my free codes, and I was sitting in the front row.
All right, Dan, it's okay, Dan. It's okay. It's only been a year. It's fine.
Still, I'm still salty over that.
So, yeah, all right.
But I think this is something that I think now that Sony is left completely. Well, we don't know if they're going to have a booth, a little booth, even they have playable demos. But let's just say they don't, and they just have no presence at E3.
Yeah.
I think next year in 2021, I think we're going to see Microsoft pull out completely as well.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
They'll still have like an and I have my quotes up right now. E3 presence.
Yeah.
Because they're going to do a show during E3 time, but they're not going to be in the E3 show floor.
Sure.
They're not going to be in the show floor at all.
Sure.
I mean, they're literally 2 feet out with one finger in, right? They just have like a little booth where you play games.
To be fair to all this, I mean, we're kind of seeing time and time again that Microsoft, Nintendo, now even Sony doesn't need E3, right?
That's true.
Because like games are so big. The small-time people do, right? The small-time devs, the small-time publishers need a venue because something like Way Forward definitely can't afford any sort of renting out a theater and having a big conference and this and that. Limited Run does it, but they kind of CG it, they do this kind of like fake green screen stage thing, and they have a little thing. But they kind of do it tongue in cheek, right? And that's like the only way you can really do it in that case. And I think the small time guys still need E3 in a way. So maybe it'll be around in that fashion, right?
Well, you'll
be able to play like all the great indie games.
Well, that's why you have all the 29 other trade shows, and you have PAX, and you have all these other ways. And you have the internet. Mm-hmm. Back when E3 started,
you want to be able to play these games, though.
Back when E3 started, we didn't have, was it 95, 94 when it started?
95, 96.
Yeah, the internet wasn't a thing, really. It wasn't a big thing.
It was very early on.
Infant stages. So.
Yeah, I know. You tried to stream video. It's just not going to happen.
Oh, my God. I remember when I could stream, like, I remember.
Real player.
I'm so old.
Yeah, real player.
I remember when I could stream, like, a minute.
Yeah.
And it was like a big thing. I was like, yo, I got a minute of whatever it was. I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy. Yeah. Send that to me.
Real audio player.
I had a friend tell me to send it to him, and it took like an hour.
Oh, you kidding me? Yeah, and he gets like maybe 30 seconds of like a video, and it's like super tiny.
Oh, what was your first email?
What was my first email?
Like your first email address, like your provider, like.
Oh, AOL, of course. Who didn't have AOL?
AOL wasn't my first.
Oh.
It was like NetZone or something. I forgot what it was.
NetZero.
NetZero, yes. It was NetZero was my first
I had
email.
NetZero for a little bit because I think that was the free one. You get free internet through NetZero.
And then I had AOL.
Yeah. No, AOL was the best, man.
Oh wow, we're old.
I know.
All right, let's stick with Sony. Let's stick with Sony exclusives.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a report out there that Horizon Zero Dawn is coming to PC.
There you go.
And
breaking down barriers. And finally.
And other Sony, first party exclusives will be coming to PC as well.
Yeah.
So this is cool. I mean, it should be. I mean, you could have just like Games Pass. PlayStation Now is on PC.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Sorry to tell you guys, but I know first party studios for Xbox, their games are going to come to Games Pass the day it comes out, but it's not the first. It's not going to be PC, at least for now. Unless something changes, which I'm sure it will in the future. But right now, it's not coming straight to PC. Right. Like Halo Reach, I think we talked about last week. Halo Reach out on Games Pass, but not Games Pass on PC.
Right, but soon.
Well, we'll see.
Soon,
we'll see. Yeah. So same thing here. I think PlayStation Now, I think they'll have a lot of their games available on PC through PlayStation Now. Yeah.
I mean, they want the exclusives to be on their console first and foremost, and then roll it out to the PC. And also, not to mention that, Horizon Zero Dawn in this case, like coming to PC, would be a physical or at least a digital port of the game, right?
Yeah.
Which means there's a lot of development time, which means that studio has to take it and bring it to the PC and change a bunch of stuff and do testing. Just like, Red Dead. When Red Dead came out for the PC, there were a lot of problems because, the game is huge and they have to recode a lot of the game to work.
Well, it's funny you talk about that because the story's coming out that, Horizon Zero Dawn is like the first exclusive from the PS4 era to come out on PC. Why are we talking about this? If not that Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or Horizon 2 is going to be the launch title for the PS5. We're trying to get hyped for it, baby.
Well, I mentioned it before as like an aside, but there's a very good chance. I think we talked about rumors of there being a sequel. It'll probably be out on the same engine or an enhanced version of that engine. That's the same engine I think that Horizon is running on.
Yes. No. That's Days Gone.
Oh, Days Gone is using the same engine. Okay, which is definitely a little bit newer. Horizon was 2017.
But think about it. Horizon Zero Dawn and Zelda Breath of the Wild came out the same year. They came out weeks apart.
Yeah, that's right.
And we already know that we're getting the Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Right. I mean, Zelda Breath of the Wild 2.
And possibly Horizon Zero
Dawn 2. And
now
possible, it just makes sense that we'll get a Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
Of course.
And I still stick by the fact that it's not going to be Zero Dawn. I don't think it'll
have a subtitle.
It'll be Horizon XYZ.
Sure, yeah.
It's not going to be, maybe it won't have 2 in it. It just would be another subtitle.
Yeah. I mean, that's like kind of the thing. People don't like the numbers. Because then you look at a number.
PlayStation is a number itself.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's a little different. But you look at like Final Fantasy 15, and it's not the 15th one in that series. because every game is different and it has different characters and it's a different story each time. But you get a little like, well, I don't know what happened in the first 14.
That's true.
So I think that's why people are shying away from the numbers now, because you see like Horizon Zero Dawn : something, you're just like, oh, it's just
Halo,
the name of the game.
Remember, Halo is not going to be Halo 6; it's going to be Halo Infinite.
Exactly, right. So people may see it and go like, oh, what is this? Not knowing that there's a big story behind it. But I think that's why it's becoming popular now.
So Sony came out of the gate, came out of nowhere and said they're not going to be at E3, and that's really the reason why that news became big is because why are we talking about E3 in January? It's because now is when you start to plan for E3 and you buy the space.
That's
so you
right.
got to pay for it now.
That's right.
To plan 6 months ahead. So when this week started, obviously we didn't know this was going to be the biggest story. I thought the Smash Brothers Direct would be our lead story because I thought we would get something crazy where we would blow our minds.
Right. Well, it was a Nintendo Direct specifically for Smash
Brothers, yes.
The last one was a Nintendo Direct specifically for Pokemon.
Yes.
So
it was a Pokemon Direct. They didn't call it Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
Remember, Nintendo only owns like a third of Pokemon.
This is true. So we got the new Smash Brothers Direct.
I thought this was going to be our lead story. I thought we would get something really, really good. However, it came, and it was a thud.
Yeah, very uninspired. I hope you like Fire Emblem, folks.
Because you're going to get more of them.
Yeah, because now we have Marth, and now we have Roy, and Lucina, and Corrin, and whoever else, and now we have Byleth.
Yeah, which is interesting. Watching the Direct, Byleth in America is the male and female version. They have the same name, but in Japan they have two different names.
Oh, interesting.
Didn't know that. You know why? Because I'm not a big Fire Emblem fan.
No, you are not. You own it.
I own 3 houses now.
Yeah, you own the new one.
I haven't played it yet. I will try it.
It's the easiest one to get into out of all of them, so you may enjoy it. And there's some good social aspects in there. They have, dialogue options when you kind of run around the castle/monastery. There's a lot of in between the battles. So, I don't know. Byleth is cool. She's fine. But we have a million Fire Emblem characters. We want new franchises. I thought that's what Sakurai's Jam was, right? We got the hero from Dragon Quest. That's a brand new franchise in the mix. We got Terry from Fatal Fury and the King of Fighters series. That's a new franchise.
Maybe they should have kept Terry for last, if that's the case. Then it would have went out.
Something, yeah.
Yeah, right? It would have had a little bit more excitement other than Byleth. Literally when I didn't watch it live. So I saw it towards the end.
Yeah.
I watched it when it was already off for like an hour. So I saw Byleth is the new Smash character. I was like, who the hell is that?
Yeah, right, because you don't play Fire Emblem.
Who the hell is that? I was like, I thought I missed this. I was like, is it from an anime? So then I watched the Direct and I was like, Fire Emblem. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not getting any Super Mario RPG characters. We're not getting Gex. We're not getting Tomba. We're not getting Crash. We're not getting anybody that people want.
But okay, so that completes the 5 characters from the Fighters Pass, the Smash Pass, right?
Fighters Pass 1, I guess.
Yeah, that I have, that I paid for. So Byleth, when it comes out, I have it automatically. But they did announce that we will be getting Smash Pass 2, Fighters Pass, Smash Fighters Pass 2, said it 10 times fast.
I'm good.
Not another 5 characters, but we're going to get 6 characters.
I know, 6 over 2 years.
6 over 2 years, towards the end of December 2021.
Right. So that means 3 a year, 3 installments. So I guess like March, sometime over the summer, and then
let's not guess.
Like October.
Who knows?
Then like in October. Well, they're gonna definitely split it up evenly over the year, right? Because they want to get people hyped throughout the year. So the Direct will come out a month or two before.
We may get 2 at a time. I mean, we may get 2 at a time. You never know.
Yeah, highly doubtful.
You never know.
Highly doubtful. They got to go ahead and parse this out. They got to make Smash stay relevant. And it has been. Smash is over a year old now, and it's still relevant.
All right,
we're going bananas.
So now that we know we're going to get 6 new characters, we just need to go back and look at the characters in Fire Emblem that haven't been ported. So we'll know we know at least we got 3 more slots selected for more Fire Emblem characters.
Yeah.
Basically, you're telling me I need to start playing Fire Emblem Three Houses so I know who's gonna be in Smash.
We're gonna get Daedu, and then we're gonna get Petra, and we're gonna get whoever. Oh God, it's gonna be ridiculous.
They might as well
Dorothea.
They might as well just call this Fire Emblem Brothers.
Yes.
Smash Emblem.
No, Sakurai, come on.
Smash
Stop
Emblem.
with the Fire Emblem.
Goku better be part of those 6 characters.
Doubtful.
Goku better be part of those 6. That better blow. That would make up for everything.
Doubtful because there is 2 fighting games starring Goku that are out that came out within the last year. Technically
years.
3
2
if he's in. Well, okay, 2 years, sure.
Oh, no. You know what? No, Jump Force. You're right.
Well, that's what I mean. Jump Force.
I forgot about
and
that.
Technically, Kakarot, if you want to count this new one, I'm assuming he's in it.
No. It's okay.
Kakarot is Goku.
Yes,
so that
is his Saiyan name.
That's 3 in 2 years. Fighters, Jump Force, and now Kakarot. So I don't want to take the shine off that.
Listen. And Dragon Ball will have like a surge if they put him in Smash Brothers because everybody wants to have him and Ryu face off.
I know. Well, it's the Dream Championship.
Because we know we're never gonna get a Capcom versus Bandai Namco.
No.
Street Fighter versus Dragon Ball Z. We know we're not gonna get that.
No, they have the Marvel license, which they're still kind of holding on to. So good, but yeah.
All right, let's switch gears.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do that anymore when we say switch. We never snap our fingers.
We don't.
We never snap
well,
our
I mean, it's a little.
It's gone. It's gone now.
Lost its shine a little bit, but okay. Right. I'm with you.
Let's switch gears.
So we got some Switch.
So let's talk about a game that may be coming to the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We talk about characters that may be coming to a Switch game, but let's talk about a game that may be coming to Switch.
Mm-hmm.
And that is all the rumor and innuendo out there is that BioShock the Collection is coming to the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
It says BioShock 1, 2, Infinite, which is BioShock 3, plus the DLC, which is already out now on Xbox One and PS4, which I have it for the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they put this out a bit ago. It's down to like $20-$30 right now. It's fantastic. BioShock, amazing. I mean, we talked about in episode 199, our top 10 games of all time. BioShock is firmly in there at like 5 or 6 on my list. It's an amazing game. BioShock 2, great game to play. BioShock Infinite had Ken Levine come back. So it's a solid package. There's no reason that it shouldn't be out for the Switch. All these games are out on the 360 era, so they can certainly do it. The machine is powerful enough.
Why can't we get a Batman Arkham's collection out on the Switch?
We could also get that too. I don't see why not.
That's PS3, Xbox 3. That's like the PS3, Xbox 360 collection as well.
Mm-hmm. With the exception of Arkham Knight, you could definitely get
downgraded. They downgraded The Witcher.
I mean, they did. Yeah. It'd be awesome. I'm afraid if this does come out, there's going to be a there's going to be a not everything is on this disc label.
Infinite is going to be on the Infinite is going to be on the cart, and you have to download 1 and 2 and the DLC.
Something like that. Well, Infinite's definitely the biggest of the 3, so it could be 1 and 2 on the cart, or 1 on the cart, and then download 2 and 3. But I'm
definitely not going to buy it.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know people are clamoring for it. I have some friends in particular who are like huge BioShock fans, and they want it to be on the Switch because that's their like primary gaming console right now. And I'm like, I don't disagree that it should. Now that kind of this comes out, there's a good chance that it will. I don't see why not. 2K still owns the property, so I feel like they would put effort into it and make it happen and do the port.
Okay. Let's talk about a game that we think will get a physical for the Switch, but we don't know. But you called it.
I did call it that.
Streets of Rage 4.
I told you.
You said it would be done by Limited Run.
I did. Of course.
I said, why would it be done by Limited Run?
Because they did the Windjammers one, and the Windjammers one came out from the same company that's doing Streets of Rage 4, which is licensing the property from Sega. So it all just kind of comes together. So
Limited Run's doing Streets of Rage 4. Now, that off the back, if Limited Run is doing it, that means we're not getting a physical edition for Xbox because they don't do Xbox games.
They don't.
So we know for a fact that we're going to get a PS4 edition, physical from
probably a Switch edition,
but maybe a Switch edition. We don't know. They haven't
probably a Switch edition.
They haven't announced anything yet.
Well, they just said physical though. They didn't say what. So we're assuming PS4 because that's the easiest.
Was definitely PS4 because they started out with PS4, so everything they put out has a PS4 edition.
I mean, I guess.
And either a Vita, which no longer rest in peace, is happening. It's either Vita or Switch.
Well, there's the only reason
and Switch, I should say.
The only reason they wouldn't put it on the Switch if there's like a very high Switch tax for this particular game, which is always the thing.
I want to get this on the Switch, though.
It's not a power situation. Streets of Rage 4 does look beautiful, but it's not a super intensive game graphics wise. So you could definitely put it on the Switch. I would almost bet money. And say yeah.
I would get this on the Switch.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
hopefully it's on the Switch.
Same.
That's how I get it. But I don't just want it on a Switch. I want little trinkets. Come with a manual, a soundtrack. Do something.
Mm-hmm. I think they will.
Come on.
Possibly a little figure of Axel with the blazing knuckle.
I don't want that.
You don't want Axel?
I don't want Axel.
No. Are you Blaze? Are you a Blaze guy?
I don't want any of that stuff.
You said you wanted trinkets.
I want a manual. Give me a manual and a keychain.
Manual's nice.
Give me a keychain and a manual.
I want a figurine. Give me a figurine. Come on.
No, that's more money. Just give me for what, $60?
Uh-huh.
Give me or $50. Give me a keychain or a manual. And I definitely want a manual or art book or something. That comes
art
with
book would be nice, yeah.
All right, this is the part of the show where we talk about the season. The season is weird right now, right? Because we're in New York, and it's supposed to be winter, but
it feels like spring.
It feels like spring.
Yeah. Technically, It snowed yesterday, but it's been like 60 degrees like last weekend. It's insane.
It's crazy. So there's bugs. There's a bug going around. Everyone getting sick and stuff like that. And you know what? Game developers aren't immune to getting bugs, and we call it.
Wow, that segue.
Love that segue, right?
I do actually. Yeah, golf clap all around.
Okay, we call it the delay bug. I put it on Twitter.
There we go.
It's going around.
Yeah, it is.
It's going around.
It is.
Doom got caught with the delay bug.
That's right.
Animal Crossing got caught with the delay bug, and we thought everybody, got their vaccinations, got their, immunizations, got the flu shot. We thought the bug was gone, but the bug is not gone. It's still here, and it's going strong. Everybody seems to be catching it.
Who was our latest victim, Dan?
Well, we got victims, plural.
Oh boy!
So this is where we went through the victims list right here. First on the list, who needs to get vaccinated? That's Final Fantasy VII.
Oof!
Not coming out in March.
Yep.
Like originally, originally said. Well, Final Fantasy VII, the remake, unofficially part 1 because
it is part 1.
It is part 1.
Part 1 of X.
Probably 3 parts they're gonna put out.
Considering this is all of disc 1, that's coming out in now April. The least worst of all of the delays. It's only a month out, if even that. It's a couple weeks out.
The Last of Us Part 2 got hit with the delay bug too. It was supposed to come out in February. Now it's coming out in May.
That's also right. Yeah. So that got hurt a little bit more. We also have.
Well, then the bug got a little bit stronger.
Yeah.
Right, and it's really affecting people.
Yeah.
Then we got hit with the Avengers.
Yep.
The Avengers is supposed to come out in May, and now it's coming out in September.
Something like that, yeah. But now it's coming out right at the beginning of Christmas 1.
Not on new consoles that we know of, at least, right? It's still this current gen, not next gen.
That possibly could be the reason why it was delayed, so that they could either patch it to make it work with the new consoles, or make a specific version for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X.
Just fix the Avengers characters. Just fix them.
Fix them how?
No one loved the design of the Avengers characters, and we only got 2 trailers.
You want it to look like Tony Stark? Because that's not going to happen.
We
don't have the likeness. What do you want him to look like?
Look a little better. A little better. I don't mind. Listen, I love an all-star video game voice cast. Just make them look a little better.
So you're saying they're looking a little MVC Infinite and a little less MVC 3.
They're looking like
Infinite,
yeah, a little bit,
a little bit of the poor budget.
And then
I suspect though it's for the new consoles.
Really? Okay.
I suspect.
Well, then last on the list, again, the bug is going strong. It's really strong. It's so strong that even Cyberpunk has been delayed until September, which is a week after Avengers comes out.
Yep.
if I'm Avengers, I'm gonna delay it again.
The Avengers is the one that should be shaken because
Yeah.
Cyberpunk is going to be amazing.
Oh, the Cyberpunk, everyone's gonna buy, no doubt.
And I think you were saying off the camera that Cyberpunk is essentially done, but it could use some polish.
You can play it from start to finish right now, they said, but it's going to need lots of polish. It's going to, fix a bunch of bugs. I mean, The Witcher had a bunch of bugs in it when it launched, right, that they patched since. They said that their developers are going to have to do a little bit of crunch to get this out in September. So the bug's going around, man. Everyone's getting the bug.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting the bug. I'm probably going to get Cyberpunk for Xbox and Avengers for PS4 just to switch it up a little bit.
PC all the way for Cyberpunk, baby.
Look at you, man. Look at you.
That's right. PC Master Race over here.
Hopefully your PC rig can actually run Cyberpunk. It couldn't run Red Dead, so why could it run Cyberpunk?
This baby can do it. Well, I haven't tried Red Dead, but if I maxed it out, it would definitely chug. The Cyberpunk will be fine. I might have to get a second graphics card in here, but I'll make it happen.
I mean, so Cyberpunk, Avengers, they're coming out. They're officially coming out Christmas 2 because Christmas 2 starts in September. That's what we coined it.
Christmas 1 starts.
Well, Christmas
in
1 starts in September.
Christmas 1. I was like, wait a minute, Christmas 2 is coming out.
So I thought this would be the best Christmas 2 ever.
Yeah, right.
And with these two juggernauts leaving, I don't know about that so far. It's more room in May to play The Last of Us.
Yep.
Right,
yep.
Because we don't have the Avengers to deal with. And if you're like any other game fan, you can play. So now that Cyberpunk's not coming out in March, right? So like Animal Crossing and Doom, you can play Animal Crossing and Doom, which come out the same day, by the way.
Yeah. Well. I think they're different audiences. So
you don't have to worry about Cyberpunk, which is coming out like 2 weeks later.
Right.
Well, it was supposed to come out like 2 weeks later.
Right.
So the bug's coming around. If you don't have your flu shot, go get your flu shot right now. So you won't also be delayed.
Well, I have to say the game that I've been making has been delayed too because I got the bug, Dan.
Okay, yeah, that's great. And you know what? We don't have a release date yet. It's just TBD. It's just TBD.
No, it's just TB. That's what I got. That was the bug that I got. Was TB.
It's just TB. You got the TB bug.
Yeah. It's bad. It's critical.
Okay.
Anyway.
So we know these games are coming out. Unlike your game.
It's delayed
is indefinitely.
Yeah.
TBI.
Delayed indefinitely.
TBI.
Yeah. It's coming out in 0 systems now. Delayed indefinitely.
There you go. We know. So,
breathe, Dan. It's okay.
There's no.
I don't want you to get sick too.
I'm delayed until episode 205.
Oh boy.
So there's no. Well, from that, there's no segue into Stadia. Let's get into Stadia. Stadia has been a hot mess. But in fairness, the Stadia. I mean, they only got the beta out, right? They closed beta, which was the Founders Edition.
Founders Edition, yeah, for $120 or something like that.
You can test out.
You too could have gotten in.
You could test out our servers, which are 20 teraflops.
Yep.
Better than what you have right now on your PS4 and Xbox One
That's
X
right.
and Pro. But it's just not that many people into it. I mean, I think Destiny. I don't know the numbers. I forgot. I should have had the numbers in front of me. I forgot the numbers, but they were talking about Destiny had like thousands of people playing on other platforms and like 90 on Stadia. All right, so they just don't have a big install base. So why should I put games on Stadia?
Right.
Pay to put games on Stadia because it ain't free.
Right.
Give me a reason to play Stadia. Stadia. Google needs to give people a reason to play Stadia.
You need an exclusive.
Well. You need exclusives, not just an exclusive. I mean, look at Apple.
At least one.
Look at Apple Arcade. All right, they have like Oceanhorn 2.
That's a timed exclusive.
It's definitely going to be a timed exclusive.
Yeah.
100%. I have Oceanhorn for the Vita.
Yeah, it's a great game. Came out on everything.
I have for the Vita and iPad.
Oh, there you go.
But
so that's like one of their games that's like, hey, you can play it on our system. Play it first on our system. Oceanhorn 1 was great. It's a nice little Zelda clone. But Stadia needs stuff like this, right?
But Stadia, they need a lot more for the price that they want for their service, because this is a service. They're saying that they're going to have 10 timed exclusive games coming this year. That's good, but what kind of exclusives? Like having the Oceanhorn 2 They need more than just that. And I understand they have their own studio, which they're working on games, which aren't going to come into fruition for another 3 years at least, right? Because they just created these studios last year. That we know of. Maybe they created them a year before.
Right.
But still, it's still a couple of years before you get that AAA exclusive that you can only get on Stadia that make us buy into the service.
Right. You need your Fortnite or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
And then also, again, if I was them, I wouldn't be too worried, having a low install base because they had the barrier to entry was very high. So hopefully at some point this year they have their free service where you can join for free.
A ton of people are going to be on that service.
I'll try it out. Right?
Well, because it's free. It doesn't cost you anything.
Go in a Chrome browser with
it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, you go in a Chrome browser with an Xbox controller.
Yeah. Because the Stadia official controller, if you want to call it that,
it's trash. From what I hear. I
was just going to say that it's exactly like a Xbox or PlayStation controller in terms of the button layout, the dual sticks. I
heard it feels like the Ouya controller.
I mean, yeah, like build quality and whatever aside, you can use it in the same way you could like other controllers. So, I mean, the barrier to entry is having a computer screen, essentially. Having a laptop or a PC tower or something.
Yeah. I think with 10 times exclusives, even if they're like small indie games, some of them, and having that free, like, having it free to people to start, I think will bring a lot more users to this. And that will buy you some time to improve on the service, improve on the lag that's going to happen, right?
Well, remember even though it's free, you still have to buy the games, though.
Yes.
So no matter what, you're going to have to plunk down 30, 40, 50, 60 to play one of these.
Come on, I'm sure they'll have like free games to play. Or free, or like a.
They said if you pay for the service, you'll get some free games. Like I think Destiny is free with the service.
I'm sure. Come on, they have to have something that's like a Flappy Birds or something.
Yeah, you want like a Hexic, or you want like a you want a match 3 Candy Crush game to play.
Yeah, they got to be something that's like free to come with it. Give me a reason. Give me a reason to try this out.
I mean, but you were not their target audience though. To also,
I played Assassin's Creed on the Chrome browser.
Right, but you were
it was okay.
A physical console gamer who owns, like me, most likely all of the Assassin's Creed games.
I do.
For 360, PlayStation 3, Xbox One, or PS4.
I even bought Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Right.
On like my 5th system at this point.
Yeah. So like
for
there you
Switch.
go. Like even if they had a killer title on there, you're not gonna be in for the $10 a month or whatever it is.
Well, if I knew they improved it where I didn't need like to have like the best internet and still have a really great experience.
Well, I mean, I think that's gonna be the case, and even more so going forward because of the level of graphics and the fidelity that's being transferred through the pipe. Right? The better the games are, the more like data has to come down, and the more important it is to have a smooth experience, right? Especially for first-person shooters and for fighting games and games that require like almost zero lag.
I'll probably never play like a fighting game on this because if you're gonna
bad news.
Yeah, you're just gonna get your butt whipped.
Yeah,
this is making no sense. But let's end with this. Speaking of Stadia, I mean, if he had Stadia, it would have been easier for him to play this.
It certainly would.
Right. This was kind of funny. In Portland, this guy sort of hijacked a monitor at the airport to play his PS4.
Yep.
This is crazy.
Yeah, this was.
Can't tell what game he was playing though.
It's very hard to see. Yeah, and it's weird. So the man's sitting down. Obviously, he's waiting for his flight, killing time. Had his PS4 on him. Flying either out...
Must be going to PAC South.
Yeah. Flying out of Portland, possibly going to PAC South. And, he's just like, I see a monitor over here. It's got, some information, some flight information.
That no one cares about.
Right.
It's probably late at night. It looks like nobody's in that airport.
He realizes that there's HDMI ports in the back of this thing, right? Which is true because they're just monitors, right? They got to have some sort of hookup. They didn't lock them down, which... Come on, Portland. So the guy's like, I'm just going to go ahead and hook my PS4 up. And then the security comes by and says, no, you can't do that.
Well, he was very polite. He wasn't belligerent or anything.
Yeah, no.
This didn't escalate to anything, but it was just kind of funny that he just took a monitor and just said, I don't play on PS4. It looked like Apex Legends. I could be wrong.
Something like that. It was definitely like a first person game. But he was like, "Do you mind if I just finish my game real quick?" And they were like, "No." So he had to take it down. I don't think he was arrested by any means. It was just like, well, you can't really do that. You have to take us off right now. So it was all very civil. It was all very above board. So, we thought that was kind of funny. So,
power to the gamers.
Yeah, I know. So you realize now, Dan, like the next time we go to
Portland Retro Gaming Expo, Portland Retro Gaming Expo, we can just play at the airport.
No. I'm saying when we go to PAX next month, you got to bring your Xbox. We'll hook it up. We'll play a little. We'll play a little like head-to-head Mortal Kombat.
Oh, there you go. Well, we just get the Switch dock and we can play.
Or that too. Yeah.
Bring the Switch dock.
We'll play a little Mario Kart or something. Yeah,
there you go.
No, it'll be great. So yeah. So that ends episode 202. We want to thank you guys for sticking with us and doing all the good things that you do. If you want to interact with us, and we know you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Just a reminder that our giveaway is going on right now, and that's for 2 tickets to Penny Arcade East. That is the Saturday sold-out show and Sunday the almost sold-out day of Penny Arcade. So, if you missed the code that we dropped in this episode, please go back and listen to that. If you have not found the codes in our other episodes this month, go back and listen to those episodes. And remember to DM us, private message us on social media, or email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com for entry. And also for additional entries, you can hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for 1 entry per social platform. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. You can check out all of the fine podcasts featured on there if you're looking for more gaming goodness at www.gamingpodcastalliance.com. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.